One vlog, one unexpected moment, and suddenly the entire fandom is spiraling. When Zhao Lusi returns with Season 2 Episode 1 alongside Victor Ma, everything feels warm until fans notice something strange. A shadow, a voiced presence that feels all too familiar. Is Liu Yuning really there? Or is this the beginning of something much deeper? The moment the video opens, there is a shift in energy. Not loud, not dramatic, but intimate, almost like a quiet confession. Zhao Lusi doesn't appear as a distant celebrity anymore. She feels closer, softer, real. Her eyes carry something different this time. Not just brightness, but depth. Season 2 begins with a message that lingers. We can become anything. And suddenly, this isn't just a vlog. It's a journey. As the camera follows her daily moments, there's a sense of calm that wraps around the viewer. Simple laughter, gentle pauses, unscripted emotions. And then, he appears. Victor Ma enters the frame like he's always belonged there. No grand introduction. No dramatic reveal. Just presence. The way they speak. The way they laugh. It doesn't feel staged. It feels lived in. Like two people who understand each other without needing to explain. And that's when the fandom begins to feel it. That quiet spark. Not explosive, but undeniably real. But what no one expected was how quickly that warmth would turn into curiosity. Because somewhere in the background, something doesn't feel accidental. As the vlog unfolds, something subtle begins to shift. At first, it's easy to miss. A passing figure, a blurred silhouette, a voice that echoes just a second too long. Fans pause, rewind, replay, again and again, because something feels familiar. Could it be? No confirmation, no direct appearance. And yet, the name begins to spread like wildfire across comment sections. Liu Yuning, not as a statement, but as a question, a feeling. Viewers start connecting fragments. The tone of a voice in the background, a posture that resembles him, a fleeting second that refuses to be ignored. And suddenly, the vlog transforms. It's no longer just about Zhao Lusi and Victor Ma. It becomes a puzzle. And the fandom? They become detectives. Not because they want drama, but because they feel something deeper. A connection that has existed long before this moment. But here's the truth. Nothing is confirmed. And yet, nothing feels random either. But beyond the whispers, beyond the paused frames and endless rewinds, there is a truth unfolding right in front of us. Quiet, but impossible to ignore. The connection between Zhao Lusi and Victor Ma doesn't demand attention. It simply exists. And sometimes, that kind of connection is the most powerful of all. There's no need for dramatic music or scripted tension, because what they share feels effortless. It's in the way she leans slightly closer when she laughs. Not out of habit, but comfort. It's in the way he watches her, not performatively, but attentively, as if every word she says matters. These are not moments designed for the camera. These are moments that happen when people forget the camera is even there. And that's exactly why the audience feels it so deeply. Because it's rare. And it's real. Their conversations flow like a quiet river. Sometimes playful, sometimes reflective, but always natural. There's a softness in their dynamic that resonates, especially with viewers who crave authenticity in a world that often feels staged. But just as the audience begins to settle into this warmth, there's a shift. Not sudden, not loud, but present. Because the more genuine their connection feels, the more questions begin to rise. If this is what we see, then what are we not seeing? And somehow, without being visible, Liu Yuning becomes part of the emotional landscape, not through appearance, but through presence, a possibility, a memory, a name that lingers between conversations. And suddenly, the story expands beyond what the camera captures. It becomes layered, complex, unspoken. And that's where the audience gets pulled even deeper, not just watching, but feeling. As the vlog continues, something more profound begins to take shape, something that goes far beyond relationships or speculation. It becomes a reflection of growth. Zhao Lusi is no longer just sharing moments. She's revealing pieces of herself, not in a dramatic confession, but in quiet honesty, the kind that doesn't need to be explained. Her words about becoming, about the idea that we can become anything, carry a weight that feels deeply personal, because behind that simple sentence, there is a journey we don't fully see. A journey of pressure, of expectations, of learning who you are when the world is constantly watching. And in this space, this calm, intimate vlog, she allows herself to just be, not perfect, not filtered, just present. And that vulnerability becomes the heart of everything. For viewers, especially those who have followed her career, this feels like a rare glimpse behind the spotlight, a reminder that even the brightest stars are still searching, still growing, still becoming. And then there's the emotional layer that quietly surrounds her, the people in her world. Victor Ma represents comfort, a steady, visible presence, while the idea of Liu Yuning, whether real or imagined in this context, represents something more intangible, something undefined, not confirmed, not explained, but felt. And that contrast creates a tension that is not dramatic, but deeply emotional, because life isn't always about clear answers. Sometimes it's about the spaces in between, the things we sense, but cannot prove. And that's exactly what makes this episode resonate so powerfully. It doesn't tell us what to believe. It simply invites us to feel. And then, just as quietly as it began, the episode comes to an end. No dramatic closing, no final reveal, just a lingering silence that says more than words ever could. The screen fades, but the emotions don't. They stay. The warmth of Zhao Lusi's laughter, the calm presence of Victor Ma, and that question, soft, persistent, impossible to ignore. Where does Liu Yuning fit into all of this? But maybe that question was never meant to be answered so easily, because what this vlog gives us isn't clarity, it's emotion. It's the feeling of watching something real unfold, without knowing where it will lead. And that uncertainty, it's what keeps the audience coming back. Because in a world where everything is often explained, this story chooses to remain open, unfinished. And in that openness, there is something beautiful, something human. So as the episode ends, the real impact begins. In the hearts of those watching, in the quiet discussions that follow, in the way people replay certain moments, not for answers, but for feelings. Because this isn't just a vlog anymore. It's an experience. And maybe that's why it resonates so deeply. Not because of who appeared, but because of what it made us feel. And as the screen fades to black, one thought remains. What if the next episode doesn't just continue the story, but changes everything we thought we understood? Eyes.